Hello.
So we got a new list of topics to talk about. I'm one that hopes for in the future all of the game companies just kind of merge into one. Like that. That would be cool. No more console wars, no more having multiple consoles and multiple versions of the same game or any of that. Just put it all together. Morph all of them into one.
I feel like the most shitty company would take like Activision would be the one that's like, I will unite them all.
Yeah. Activision or EA.
Oh god.
And then microtransaction for everything. They charge by the level.
Because these guys that I have subscribed to, which if you haven't checked them out, check them out. It's Corridor Digital. They do a lot of like effects stuff, and they'll take like a simple little video and make it all blown up and craziness. But they had this video on microtransactions, but it's microtransactions in the Matrix world. And they're in this gunfight, and this guy runs out of ammo, and he's like, I need more. You gotta pay for it, dude. And he's like, get you a weapons crate. You're out of weapons now. And he buys a weapons crate, and they're all little mini guns. He's like, oh, sorry about your roll, dude.
That's funny.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Let's make microtransactions go away. Get rid of the loot crates. That should have never been a thing.
I mean, I understand for like in-game credit that you earn, but man,
the more you play, the more you can get.
Because it does give you that sense of that I worked for something kind of thing.
Yeah. I remember back in the day, they didn't have anything like that. Like specific companies would have different types of different packs. Like Walmart, you would pre-order from there or something, and they would give you something, that was a Walmart exclusive, or GameStop or Amazon or whatever.
Right.
And you couldn't get that skin unless you had purchased the game from that company. And now it doesn't matter. Everybody has access to everything. You just got to pay extra money for it.
Yeah. I don't know. The pre-order bonuses I used to be on board with. Now I'm just kind of over. Like, just give me my game. Like, I feel like those are ways for companies to just kind of steal customers.
Speaking of, Gears 5 releases here very soon. This is totally a Gears and Microsoft plug, by the way. Hope you guys are listening.
I think I know where you're going. I was actually thinking about bringing it up.
Right. They have a pre-order bonus where you can get the Terminator skins, the T-800 and the Sarah Connor skin.
No, I didn't hear about that. That's cool.
And
okay.
They also have Halo skins.
That's the one. That's the one I thought you were going with. Yeah, that's if you sign up for the Ultimate Game Pass membership, you get the Halo ones. Which I was surprised at. Like,
both are Microsoft companies. Microsoft owns 343 and Coalition, so it kind of
True, but given that they are somewhat competing franchises, the fact that they added Halo skins to Gears is kind of odd. They both are owned by the same company, but they are definitely not the same types of games, and they are. I don't know. You got Halo players, you got Gears players. It always seemed kind of like Star Trek and Star Wars to me.
Right. I guess it's just because they're both owned by Microsoft, so it makes sense to me. I guess I don't know.
Hold on here, Mister. I want all of the. Stop! You're contradicting yourself here.
No. I want I don't want them all to exist in one universe. I just want all the games to be able to be played on one console. Like, that doesn't mean that I want to see Mario popping up in my fucking Final Fantasy. Okay.
Hey, that might be a thing. Don't put that past them. We'll give them the idea.
Yeah. I don't want The Witcher to be a playable character in the next Metal Gear. Like,
well, Mortal Kombat's doing all kinds of that. Mortal Kombat has the Terminator and Spawn.
Like, what's up with the Terminator, man? Like, he's pre-order bonus for multiple games now.
It's because the new Terminator movie's coming out with Arnold back,
Yeah. And I guess as far as the Mortal Kombat character goes, Arnie actually came in to do the mocap and the voice and everything for it. So it's 100% Arnold Schwarzenegger T-800 that you're going to be playing as in Mortal Kombat when it releases, and
Man.
he looks good. He looks real good.
Yeah, I saw the screenshot. It looks like fucking Arnold when he had half his face torn off.
Exactly. I really hope that they got Keith David to do the voice of
Spawn. Yes, that was announced. He is.
Was it?
Yes,
okay, awesome. I didn't read up on too much of that then. I just saw that he was coming out, and he's not coming out until like March 17th.
Yeah. I saw a thing yesterday that Keith David said that he was doing the voice for him.
He should always do the voice, like in any form. Like the next live action movie, don't use Jamie Foxx's voice, have Keith David do the voiceover, because like his voice is so perfect for Spawn. Like I love Keith David's voice.
He does a lot of voiceover work.
He does, and he's got a great voice for it. But yeah, he does a whole lot of voiceover work, and it's usually some super powerful character that he does a voice for, because his voice is so fucking powerful. God, love Keith David's voice.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I got a hard on for it.
Yeah,
I felt that come out of my mic.
Yeah,
good. So you guys understand my love. That's something like I'm a voice actor kind of guy. Like I've always loved voice acting. I would love to get into that myself. John DiMaggio, great voice actor. Love that guy. He does so many great characters that I love. Marcus Phoenix, Jake the dog from Adventure Time.
Yes.
He did Bender on Futurama. He does some voices on the new show of Matt Groening's That Disenchantment. He's a great voiceover artist. Nolan North, Tom Baker, like a lot of great voiceover artists out there.
Yeah.
Ryan Nolan.
I'm not familiar with him, or at least by name. Anyway, what's some of the characters?
Oh no, I think I missaid that actually. Hold on, give me a second.
So yeah, I know Nolan North. He did Drake in Uncharted series.
He did Deadpool in that Deadpool game.
Troy Baker.
Sorry, not Tom Baker. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, he did.
Troy Baker, king of laser ball.
You've definitely got some voices.
Yeah, I would love to do voiceover work. Hopefully one day that could come to fruition. I don't see it happening, but if it Ermagerd, I will be happy. So I got some other questions. These are ones that I actually Travis with. What musical artist that is gone that you would like to see come back for another album? Getting into the music now.
Just everybody from the Beatles that's dead can come back and they can create a new album. I would be okay with
that. New Beatles album would be cool. They'd have a lot of political stuff.
Oh, nowadays? Jesus. Yeah, it'd be ridiculous. I thought it was back then. I feel like it wouldn't even be an album at that point. There wouldn't be music. It'd just be them talking.
Right.
About how everything sucks.
Yeah. What about you, Travis? Who do you want to come back?
Well, I was trying to do some research here, but the lead singer from Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
Was it Sid Barrett?
Okay. I guess I always thought Roger Waters was the original singer.
Yeah, he's bass and vocals. I guess Sid Barrett was lead vocals.
Okay. Yeah, well, I don't know enough about Pink Floyd.
That's why I had to do some of my own research.
I gotcha.
Definitely those guys. And the way that music's going, I think that they would put their own spin on maybe some of the more industrial kind of stuff that we've kind of inherently taken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that. I can see that. I myself, I would like to see Kurt Cobain. I spoke it earlier, and that's still my answer. I think Kurt had a lot left to say, and I wish he was still here to say it.
I don't
And,
honestly. Do you think he would still be doing music this at this
well,
time though? I feel like he would have released. They would have released, some more things for a couple years, but I think he's one of those artists where he would have just stopped and been done after so long.
I I would have seen him retire. I mean, towards his death, there was a lot of his talk about retiring anyway. Um, so I would have seen him actually retiring, possibly getting into like producing, or even creating his own label for like-minded artists. But no artist that has that kind of clout really stays retired forever. They always end up coming back for at least one album or one tour, and then they'll go back into retirement. Like look at Kiss, big band. How many times has Kiss retired?
Too many.
Yeah. Aerosmith. They've broke up, retired, went on hike, still end up coming back. Rolling Stones, which they're basically just zombies on stage now. But I mean, they probably actually did die. They just never actually realized it.
Just animatronics.
Yeah. They died like 20 years ago, but nobody told them, and they just kept going.
It's all the LSD that they've taken.
Yeah,
It's turned them into plastic.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's actually the drugs that is keeping their bodies alive. They've done so many of them. They're just still riding the trip out.
That's like Hendrix. I mean, his career was up way before he died. I mean, he had his I know I'm going out on a limb here, but his fortes. But if you look at towards the end of his music career, his music was dog shit. It was more basic, slow rolling kind of stuff, and not the Hendrix
Yeah. Yeah, he was kind of petering out. And going back to like Kurt, he was tired of the music industry. He still loved playing music, but it was the industry that was killing everything for him. The money, the management, all that comes with trying to be a rock star. You end up having so many things. Everybody thinks it's lavish lifestyle, and those days are pretty much done. Of the parties, the sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and that kind of went away in the early 90s, and it's all record label, or it was anyway, all trying to capitalize on your fame and steal the money that you rightfully earn and deserve. But those days are kind of over too. The internet, the creation of the internet, and people being able to produce themselves at home and release their music themselves on YouTube. Like record labels are kind of becoming a thing of the past.
They really are. You get those select few that are still alive and kicking that most, pop stars anyways are signed to. But
yeah, but the old dream of, oh, we're going to get a record deal and we're going to blow up, you don't hear that anymore. Now we just need to record it and put it on YouTube.
Yeah, pretty much. YouTube, Facebook.
Yeah. The whole getting signed thing is just kind of done. Nobody really cares that much about that. They want that YouTube money.
Well, I definitely hate to say that, and I'm gonna kick myself in the ass 2 years whenever wasting time blows up. But look at Justin Bieber.
Yeah, he's one that got famous.
YouTube sensation, and
well, I think, didn't he start on MySpace? Wasn't he like a MySpacer that started like putting up videos and stuff, and then
he was
from
a
there
real
went to YouTube
kid.
And like he was like 12.
I think Ellen DeGeneres actually found him and helped jump him to fame.
Yeah, which I mean, kudos to him for being talented. He is still a douchebag, and I don't like his music, but I have respect for him for being as talented as he is and being able to capitalize on it.
Yeah.
I wish he wouldn't have turned out to be a terrible person, but I hear he is actually learning from his mistakes and trying to fix his image and trying to be a better person.
Somewhat. He has been calling out Tom Cruise to box.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how much is he
I wanna
really
see-
trying to fix this?
You know, I want to box Tom Cruise though. You know, I hate Tom Cruise, so I want to see some. I would love to see somebody fight Tom Cruise, and that would probably, if he actually fights Tom Cruise, I might become a fucking Bieber fan. I'm a I'm a believer, dude. Like,
That's amazing. Joe's buying tickets for front row.
yeah.
Like,
Be at his next tour, like, dude, he totally knocked out Tom Cruise. Yeah. Like, anybody that fights Tom Cruise is okay in my book.
I think we're gonna have another Eminem with Bieber.
I mean, Eminem's one. I've spent my fair share of time trash talking him in the past, but I actually got a lot of respect for Eminem. He really did come from nothing. He used that as his image, and it blew up. And I do enjoy some of his music. Funny. I love that he can make fun of himself. I love that he can get serious at times too. But yeah, I actually do have a lot of love and respect for Eminem. I may not enjoy all music at the time, but I love Eminem a lot more than I love Bieber.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, he does produce a lot of really, really, really decent music, but it's the lifestyle that kind of, I mean, he took his old past and fame came into the picture, and he never left his old past. So he starts doing drugs, all this other stuff, starts getting into trouble. Well, he did that to himself. I mean,
yeah, true. But in his defense, he learned from his mistakes and he turned his life around.
he looks like a 50-year-old washed up drug addict now.
I mean, most drug addicts do. Show me one good-looking recovering drug, and yeah, like
the Rolling Stones.
They are still
I'll show you plastic surgery.
Yeah, they are still on the drugs. I don't care what anybody says. Like Steven Tyler from Aerosmith. That's what you get when you're when you're a drug addict and get off the drugs. You become Steven Tyler.
Yeah.
And that that dude, he went crazy. But I don't know, when you got that much money and you're that famous, it can be good for your image at times. So music, good stuff. Speaking of, Travis, you asked this, what musical instrument do you wish you could play and why?
It's always the questions that I ask that I end up getting stumped on.
Right.
I mean, you already can play a few instruments.
Yeah.
You play a little guitar, you dabble with the violin,
Bagpipes.
Yeah, bagpipes. You got a saxophone or a trumpet too, don't you? Don't you have some kind of a brass instrument?
That's one that, I mean, I kind of got into the sax, but I was like, it's just not me. I think the one that I would absolutely love to play is the Zentar.
With the sitar, yes.
Yeah.
That's a cool instrument.
Seems really hard to play. Seems heavy. Like, it's so heavy you have to sit to play it.
I don't know. It's always been a beautiful piece of in human ingenuity that I mean, all instruments are just vibration things that we've clanked together and said, "Ooh, I like that."
Right.
But the math behind it and the different keys and fitting that many keys. And then I will bring this up too. Another one is the Hurdy Gurdy.
Hurdy.
Oh, Hurdy Gurdy.
Yeah.
That thing is the sound that it makes with. I mean, there's so many instruments packed into one instrument that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
just
that's why aren't
turn 'em
those
up.
still are those still being made?
Yes.
Yes,
Are
I'm
they?
sure you can find them somewhere.
Yes, they're very, 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 very expensive.
Yeah. I would like to see you rock out on a hurdy gurdy.
I will have to do this. What about you, Joe?
I have a little bit of a musical past, been in and out of bands, stuff like that. But one instrument that I've always really enjoyed was the drums. I can play them a little bit, but not strong enough to where I would want to actually be a drummer in a band. So that's probably the instrument I would really like to master, would be the drums. It's there's well, first of all, that's probably the original form of going back to the caveman, beating on shit.
Yeah.
You know, like it's the backbone to all good music is the drums. You know, it's got to have a good beat, and they're so fun to play. They are a workout. You can get your aggression out. You know, you have a rough day, go sit on a drum set and bang out for an hour, and you're gonna feel a lot better.
True
Yeah,
story.
definitely the drums. Being an amazing drum, be killer, dude. And they're so entertaining to watch. Have you ever seen a drum solo live? Like, it's such a good time.
I think for me, aside from being able wishing that I could sing, I know it's not like playing an instrument, but for the sake of making music, singing. But I wish I could play the piano. I always thought that would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be killer. A lot of beautiful music with piano.
Yeah.
Yeah, and really, that's another backbone instrument. You know, like if you go back to like the old composer, and you know Mozart, Beethoven, the piano is where they started. You know, with writing their music, and as they were writing the music, they would come up with the other stuff, but it all basically stemmed from the piano. And yeah, that's a good answer. I like that.
Yeah.
You know, I'll learn the drums, you learn the piano, Travis hop on a hurdy gurdy, and
Wasting
we're gonna
time band.
yeah, we're gonna take off on a world tour. That'd be a unique mix. And we should all learn how to throat sing while we're doing it, you know, like we could all throat sing while we're playing our instruments.
Yeah.
Like
That's too
I want to create a new sound.
You would do it with those three instruments and that style of singing, yes.
And I mean back I guess in
speaking English, man,
how singing is still an instrument. I would consider that an instrument. You have to train your vocal cords, and not everyone can sing. You know, it is something that can be learned. You know, it's not necessarily something you're born with. There are people that are born with amazing voices, but there are people that have to work at it as well. You know, like me, my forte when I was in band, I was a screamer, with some singing, and it's not something I was able to do well when I first started. I had to train my vocal cords. You know, and I first started when I want to say 14. I was singing along with Korn, actually. Their Follow the Leader album was one that I used to scream along to help train my vocal cords. And then from there, like Slipknot's first album was another one I would sing along with to train my vocal cords. And then I actually got into bands and started doing it, you know, by ear instead of singing along with somebody else. I was singing by myself, trying to tune my voice to how I wanted it to sound. And it's been probably 5 years since the last time I screamed, but my voice is to a point now where I think I sound like I've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, the last time that we recorded anything like that was you at peak. Like
Yeah,
you
like
can tell you've been doing it for years. Yeah, you sounded fucking awesome.
yeah, and see, screaming, I don't feel like anybody the very first time they start screaming sounds that good. That's something you have to tune, and you have to kind of shred your vocal cords a little bit and build some scars on them, so to speak, so that way you can lay down a good low growl or a nice high pitched shriek or something like that. You definitely have to train those vocal cords. So voice technically in music is an instrument. It takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of practice, and it's an art form in itself, I feel.
Oh yeah.
I may have a bias being that I was a vocalist, but it is not something that is easy. Not anybody can do it. Yeah. So yeah, definitely Wasting Time Band. That's the new project. Through this podcast, we'll set up practice next week. Travis, you get that hurdy gurdy.
Yeah.
For now, I'll just bang on pots and pans with wooden spoons. John, we can go to the Goodwill, you up at your keyboard.
I've got one.
Oh, well, there you go.
Saving money already.
Yes.
That's how you do it when you get into a band. In your first band, you're buying everything as cheap as you can until you can save up and buy the good stuff.
Yeah, my first band, the equipment we bought was totally terrible. Like, the first microphone that I bought for myself to use was a Radio Shack brand microphone, and the cord was actually attached to the mic.
Yep.
Like, you couldn't even unplug it. This thing was garbage. Not long after that, I bought a Shure mic, and that is like
good old Beta 58.
Well, mine was just an SM58. I never got the Beta series, but it was still a really good mic, especially compared to that damn Radio Shack one that I bought. So, yeah, equipment definitely. When you're starting off, go cheap, practice your craft, get good, and then kind of upgrade as you go along. Don't try to buy the most expensive stuff right out of the gate, because you're going to end up turning yourself off.
Yeah, especially if you're not going to stick with it. It's just a waste of money.
Yeah. Like, if you've never played a guitar before and you buy the expensive guitar, you're going to be so nervous about playing that thing that you're never going to learn how to play the guitar. You're like, what if I pop a string? What if I scratch it? I spent $2,000 on this thing. No, fuck that. Buy a cheap $50 guitar, learn how to play the chords, and then upgrade. By the time you're a master, you can pick up any expensive guitar and play it like a pro with no concerns. So, yeah, there's no problem with starting low. Right on. Well, it sounds like we've reached a good stopping point. I'd like to thank everybody that came to spend some time with us tonight, wasted a little time with us. Everybody on Twitch, everybody on YouTube. Soon we will be starting a Patreon account, so we will have that to look forward to. Anybody that enjoys wasting time can maybe waste a little bit of money on it too.
If you'd like to support us in a more personal way.
Yes.
How personal are we talking? Because I got a job, I got life. I don't know how personal I can get with some people, but
you'll have to wait until you see the tears.
Yes, somebody might win that special lunch.
That'd be awesome.
A day out with your favorite host. That'd be kind of cool. Lunch with your favorite host of your choice.
What do you guys think? Let us know.
Yeah. What are some prizes you would like to see in our Patreon tiers? There you go. So, yeah, thanks again for stopping through, and we look forward to hearing your comments on our next segment. So, from all of us here at Wasting Time, love ya.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.